Kentucky, a state known for bourbon, horse racing, and rolling green countryside, actually has a more absurd side. Yup, beyond the cornfields and Appalachian hills, there are towns with names that make you raise an eyebrow, tilt your head, and sometimes even wonder, is that really on the map? From a village nicknamed Hell for Certain to a town that sounds like a low-budget Superman movie setting, Kentucky has a list of places that feel like they were named by someone who was either joking or just woke up. Some names are philosophical, some are hilariously ironic, and some are just random. But each one has a story, from coal mining history and ancient sulfur springs to tiny communities still hanging on, even if they're just a speck on the map. A small community located in Leslie County, locally called Hell for Certain. The name Hell for Certain supposedly came from a missionary who passed through and said, "I don't know where I've been, but it was hell for certain." It sits right on the edge of the middle fork of the Kentucky River. Because it's so small and unincorporated, there's no official census data, but according to local articles, the population was once around 350 people. Life in Hell for Certain is rural and slow-paced. Still, the place has its own charm. Its name is extreme, but the community is simple and full of old stories from Appalachia. It's not just a funny name. This place actually holds Ice Age history. A small, unincorporated community in Boone County, it has no official population count, but its main draw is the Big Bone Lick State Historic Site. This is where early researchers found mastodon fossils, ancient bison, and other giant animal bones that caught the attention of Thomas Jefferson, who even sent an expedition here. The site is often called the birthplace of American paleontology. Today, visitors can see Ice Age animal replicas and live bison roaming the park as a tribute to the ancient ecosystem. It's quiet, rural, and the name always makes people stop and say, "Wait, that's a real place?" But that's Kentucky. Sometimes the weirdest places have the coolest stories. Rabbit Hash, a tiny village with only 68 residents, but known far beyond its size. The name Rabbit Hash came from a rabbit dish locals used to make, and somehow that became the town's official name. The place has an old-time vibe that makes you feel like you've stepped back into the 1800s. Its general store, standing since 1831, is an icon and the heart of town life. After a fire, the store was rebuilt thanks to donations from thousands of people who loved the place. One tradition made Rabbit Hash go viral. The mayor is always a dog. From bulldogs to local mutts, dogs have served as mayor and become a symbol of Kentucky's quirky humor. The village is also listed on the National Register of Historic Places, small, unique, and full of character. Rabbit Hash always finds a way to make people smile. Pleasureville, a small town that's almost a paradox. Its name suggests pleasure, but the town itself is quiet and modest. As of 2025, the population is around 800 people. It sits across two counties, Henry and Shelby. The name Pleasureville reportedly came from a political community figure who said it was such a pleasure to live there. Locals would sing, whistle, and the atmosphere felt warm. Interestingly, the town was once split into North Pleasureville and South Pleasureville because of a railroad line, but they merged back together in the 1960s. Pleasureville has strong historical roots, from early Dutch Huguenot settlers to local stories that make its cheerful name feel fitting. Located in Rowan County in eastern Kentucky, this city has a population of 6,700 people as of 2025. It was established in the mid-1800s and named after James T. Morehead, a former governor of Kentucky. One of its highlights is Morehead State University, which gives the city a distinct college town feel and helps define its character. There's also Cave Run Lake, and the nearby mountain landscape makes Morehead feel very natural and outdoor friendly. According to 2023 data, the median age is only 22, reflecting the strong student presence. On the flip side, Morehead faces economic challenges. About 34.4% of its residents live below the poverty line, based on demographic data. A very small community in Metcalfe County, Kentucky. Since it's unincorporated, it doesn't have a clear population count like larger towns. But the community continues to live among the rolling hills of Metcalfe. The name Nonesuch is pretty literal. Knob means a small hill, and lick refers to a place where animals used to lick salt from the ground, called a salt lick. This was once a natural spot for wildlife to get important minerals. Its history goes back to the 1790s when the land was granted to Austin Allen. The local post office opened and closed a few times before officially using the name Nonesuch in 1867. Nonesuch reflects the essence of rural Kentucky, with gentle hills, peaceful surroundings, and a very natural vibe. The name may sound strange, but it actually makes sense given the geography. An unincorporated community in Perry County. The population of the surrounding Krypton CCD area is around 3,233 people, according to the latest ACS data. Because of its name, Krypton, many people assume it was inspired by Superman's home planet. And yes, there's a local story. According to the Kentucky Atlas, the name likely came from nearby gas deposits and was used as the name for a train station. Its zip code is 41754, and the area includes about 170 residential addresses. A unique fact, even though it's small and remote, Krypton has strong roots in the coal mining industry, given its location in Appalachia. The natural setting is distinct: hills, rivers, and old mining communities. While Krypton may sound like science fiction, in the hills of Kentucky, it's very real and kind of bittersweet. The beauty of the backcountry wrapped in a heavy history. The name Horse Cave comes from a large cave in the center of town. Its entrance was so big, people say horse was used to mean something massive. This small town in Hart County is home to about 2,300 people. The cave has a dramatic past. Hidden River Cave was once a tourist site, then closed due to pollution. Today, it houses the American Cave Museum, and cave tours are part of its heritage tourism. A cool fact, this town is deeply tied to nature. The cave is the heart of the town, and the revitalization of heritage tourism has made it a great spot for nature and history lovers. Oddville got its name for exactly that reason. Locals wanted a post office name that really stood out, so they went with Oddville. This small community is in Harrison County and is unincorporated, so available data is limited. It was established in 1799, and the name stuck when the post office opened in 1851, though it eventually closed in the early 1900s. Because it was never a formal city, there's no clear modern census data. It's more of a small community dot on the Kentucky map. Even with its odd name, the town has classic rural charm, narrow roads, quiet surroundings, and people who are likely proud of their unusual name. Oddville reminds us that sometimes simple uniqueness is enough to make a place memorable. Because it's such a small place, it's hard to find clear modern census data on its population, but some sources say the community is extremely limited in size. The origin of the name Nonesuch has a philosophical touch. According to local stories, someone once said, "There's none such place as fine as this," referring to the beauty of the farmland there. Though small, Nonesuch is officially recognized as a small community district by Woodford County and has special zoning regulations to keep development low and preserve its rural character. The name Nonesuch seems to say, this place may be small and quiet, but its beauty is rare and one of a kind. Often called the Queen City of the Mountains because it's surrounded by the signature hills of Appalachia, this small city in Perry County acts as a kind of hub for life in the mountains of eastern Kentucky. The population is around 4,700 people. Hazard has the vibe of an old mining town, once thriving on coal, but as the industry declined, the local economy struggled too. That shift brought rising unemployment and health challenges, including a relatively high rate of hepatitis C, according to a report by C.N. Money Still. The city has a strong sense of community. There are plenty of local festivals, revitalization efforts, and a growing arts scene. Fun fact, the median age in Hazard is about 42.5 years, as of 2023, showing it's mostly home to an older generation. And while the name is Hazard, the reality is, it's a warm place full of human stories. A ghost town in Muhlenberg County with a story that sounds like a John Prine song, a real paradise that disappeared. It was once a coal mining town, with a population that reached around 800 before it was bought out by the Tennessee Valley Authority, TVA, in the 1960s. TVA removed the residents due to health concerns and to make way for a power plant. All of the old buildings were torn down. Now, only a small cemetery remains on a hill. John Prine's song, Paradise, captures both the nostalgia and sorrow of the town's destruction caused by strip mining and pollution. It's deeply ironic. A place called Paradise was lost to industrialization, and what's left now stands as a reminder of the cost of progress. Sulphur Well is a small, unincorporated community in Metcalfe County. The name Sulphur Well comes from a mineral water well discovered in 1845 by Ezekiel Neal. Not a saltwater well, but one containing sulfur, magnesium, and iron. The water was believed to have healing properties, which attracted many people to the area. The community is home to the 81-acre Sulphur Well Historic District, listed on the National Register of Historic Places, with old buildings and historic structures dating from 1860 to 1949. Though small, Sulphur Well has a charming old-fashioned feel, a flowing mineral well, a peaceful rural setting, and a history as a place of natural healing. Paint Lick is an unincorporated community in Garrard County, Kentucky. Its population is fairly large for a small community, around 3,400 people in 2025. The name Paint Lick comes from local history. It's said to refer to markings on tree trunks made with traditional paint, and lick refers to a place where animals licked salt minerals from the ground. The town once had a golden era with stores, a bank, and even a car dealership in the past. One interesting and slightly dramatic fact: during renovation of an old building, a bullet casing was found inside a floor beam, as if holding on to stories from the days of local crime or banker rookers. Today, Paint Lick is working to rebuild through local community revitalization while holding on to its laid-back, historic character. Wisdom is our final stop on this journey. It's an unincorporated community in Metcalfe County. Because it's small and not a formal city, there's very limited population data. The 2000 census recorded it, but no modern large-scale figures exist. The name Wisdom isn't random. It comes from Silas Henry Wisdom, who once served as the superintendent of schools in Metcalfe County. The local economy is still very traditional. The community has a main road connecting it to nearby towns, along with a local school and one private Christian school, Wisdom Faith Christian Academy. Interestingly, Richard Young, a member of the Kentucky Headhunters rock/heavy band, is from Wisdom, so this tiny town has made a pretty loud musical contribution.